Hey you guys, this is the One Piece King here, and today's video is going to be on the topic of One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, and what do I think of the mechanics of what's going to be happening for the game. I mean, there's some stuff I'm excited for, it was a few days ago, well, it wasn't actually that long, but I would say like 3 days ago, really, like 3, 4. But anyway, though, the point really is that we got Wano represented in the game, and that's good. Like I love how they did the art style with it, even though we just got into it in the anime side of it in One Piece, but they still have some ways to go. Like, I feel like by the time that we already get to the year of 2020, like, that depends on whenever the game is wanting to release during that year, but I feel like by the time we already get there, we probably might be, like, almost, like, halfway into the arc, probably. Um, Whenever I mean by that, I mean, like, they probably might do the whole Act 1 and Act 2 thing. They probably might do that. Excuse me. But I'm not exactly sure on how they're gonna do that though, because I guess the way how to look at it is probably how they did it in the last game, and that was basically interpreting basically interpreting like a random like ending to end the arc, basically kind of like what they did in the third game where they basically like where you fight Doflamingo, but except like it was a alternative ending. It wasn't like the legit ending we see in the series. um but yeah, I think that's probably what might happen for the Wano arc, since that's basically going to be the last arc of the game, at least for the story. um However, though, there's only one thing that bothers me the most, and that is, like, relatively to the topic, it is the story. Why do I say that? Well, because of the fact that the story, with the game, it's not going to have the full scope of the story. We're not going to start from Romance Dawn all the way to Wano. We're not, apparently we're not doing that this time, or at least Bandai and Koei are telling us like they're not doing that this time. Instead, they're wanting to skip, the East Blue saga, and they're wanting to skip like, some parts of the Grand Line saga to where, or some arcs in the Grand Line saga to where we can get to like, I guess what they could call a good part, and we just go from it from there. My opinion with that is that that's ridiculous because of the fact that Bandai and Koei had promised us that we would get, like they promised us that we would get the full story of the game from like the beginning all the way to where Wano was at, which actually I would have preferred that, because that just means like much more time to invest in the game and to play it. Like there's an actual legit whole story you could play, and it makes it long and fun because you won't get bored. Like there would still be a lot more stuff to do, in which would mean like you get to do a lot more stuff in the game, and that's good. Um, um, but who knows really? Bandai and Koei probably might still want to go on that route to where they don't want to add, the Romance Dawn and the East Blue Saga in there. Like they probably still might still go through with that idea. Or if they kind of look at how fans are kind of like disappointed with how you can't play from the beginning all the way to the end, basically they would probably look at it like, okay, maybe we made a mistake, and there's still time to fix it because, the game is still in development, so who knows, maybe they might have a change of idea and be like, okay, we'll give you what we promised, alright? Like, we'll give you, like, Romance Dawn, we'll give you East Blue arcs, we'll even put in, like, we'll even throw in some, like, Grand Line arcs that were never put in the other games, period, which would mean like Whiskey Peak, the Twin Capes, Little Garden, stuff like that. Basically, like they would just get thrown in there, and I would be okay with that. I would be okay with that. I'd be like, that's even more than what we got, you know. But yeah, though, I just really hope that, they just kind of go on that route and think for a minute, like, maybe this isn't really such a good idea. Maybe we do need to, like, keep our promise and say, like, yes, we will put the full story of the game in there. It might feel weird that it's a very long game, that it won't be, like, a short campaign like most of the other ones sort of have been, but it's a new change. It's a new start, you know, because we've been waiting for like years and everything. Like I would say like 2 to 3 years for another Pirate Warriors game. Like I don't know, I can't remember when exactly Pirate Warriors 3 was made, but if anyone could tell me in the comment section down below like when that game was made, like I would basically say like that's how many years it's basically been. It's been like from there all the way to like 2019, but basically, the 2020 to count that and basically say like it's been this many years and we're finally getting the Pirate Warriors 4 game. Like it's been that long. I think there needs to be like some changes made. Not bad changes, I'm talking about like good ones. And from what we saw, they did put good changes in there. However, there's like some slight little flaws that they could fix up really and everything. Like I'll go and discuss that a little bit later on, but it's just with that one big flaw with how the story on how where they're gonna start it, it really bothers me, you know. Because don't get me wrong, I love all arcs of One Piece. I don't think any of them are bad, you know. Like I don't think any of them are bad. I think all of them are great. It's just, like if you go and cut them out and everything like they never existed, it's kind of like ruining the point of like, telling the story, you know. You can't just go throw in cutscenes in there. You can't just go and throw in you can't throw in the narrator's dialogue in there and just have like this gigantic list of how, the story came to be. No, you can't do that. You gotta literally have it where it's like, okay, the events of what happened are like this. You get to play through those events, and you actually get to experience what happened, you know? Just like how they did it in the third game, because in the third game, they actually did represent it that way. There were some arcs that were cut out, yes. However, though, there were still some arcs that were represented like they're supposed to be, you know? Like for Usopp, it was the Syrup Village arc, which never got added into, the first or the second game, which was sad. Um, and then, we got Shellstown with Luffy and Zoro. That never got added in any of the games because it never got represented. And then, um, and then we move on like with Jaya, like Jaya and Skypia never really got represented until, well, I mean, they represented Skypia in the second game, but that was more filler. I'm talking about like actual story, like actual story that it represents and everything. Three of the games, like, well, not really three, but basically neither of the two games really didn't represent that arc like how it's supposed to be, Like, yes, they did represent Skypia in the second one, but not as it was supposed to be interpreted by. Um, but with Jaya though, yeah, Jaya for both games, it was never represented at all. Like they skipped, the whole Skypia saga. They completely skipped it. Even skipped Longland for 3 games. And I find that to be very sad. Because yes, Longland, like the Long Ring Longland arc is not really much of a fan favorite. Like, not everybody would really care or even want to remember it because of the fact, like, there was a villain in that arc and nobody really cared for him, because it was Foxy. It's Foxy. It's a flat out one of those characters where you're just all like, why is this guy in this game? Or why is this guy in the series in general? You realize what his powers can do, but you still question like, still, why is this guy here? But still, the arc was part of the series and everything because Oda added that in there as probably just like a little stop back into the Grand Line again. And so, and so there you go, we got it. Um, but but with all those arcs in yeah, but with all those arcs in the series though, most of those cannot be like counted out because that would make it to where like that would make it to where there would be like flaws in the game itself to where they need to like to where they would need to like fix it properly. Excuse me, but they don't need to like skip anything out. They really don't. That's why, that's a huge problem. Don't skip anything out. Um Now, if like they okay, so the other flaws besides the story flaw, because like I said, they're still in development, but like who really knows what route they're really wanting to go, if they're still wanting to stay that route, or if they want to think about like how others would react to it and be like, okay, we don't we don't need to do just Alabasta all the way to Wano. No, we don't need to do that. It is long, but we don't need to do that. We could make it to where it is Romance Dawn all the way to Wano. We can make it fair. But who knows really? So moving on to the next one, that would be the characters. Um Now technically I know with costumes they're still also in development of that. However though, I really wish that, they didn't I really wish they didn't really release trailers with with some of the characters in the game that have that have basically their outfits that they wear, um like basically as a normal thing, and what I mean is by Sanji and Zoro and Brook. We haven't seen any of what the other Straw Hats look like yet, but we've just seen Zoro, Sanji, and Brook. Sanji, he did get himself a new outfit. He did, and and it was his wedding outfit for whenever it's the big wedding for Big Mom. Yes, he did. Like he does have his groom outfit. However, I just think that he really doesn't, like he doesn't need just that. He needs like some other outfits because Sanji went through outfit changes during Whole Cake Island. Like he went through a lot, you know. Because the first one is him wearing the white shirt with the black pants, like just that. It's just the white shirt and the black pants, and you know. But then later on, he still wears that outfit, but yet he gets he gets the red cape with it because he's headed down to the Whole Cake Chateau with his siblings, his family, and but he also has the collars, or it's like collars or something, but it's around his wrist basically. Like he's got like little collars around his wrist that if he leaves, they explode because he would really be upset if he loses his hands and everything because he's a cook. Um, but yeah, like he should get that outfit, which we never saw in the Whole Cake Island trailer, where him and Luffy are basically like fighting. Well, sort of more. It's like Sanji's the one throwing the blows and Luffy does nothing, but you get the idea. It is a Luffy versus Sanji fight, and um, and basically whenever we go and look at the trailer with that scene right there, we see Sanji not wearing, the proper outfit that he needs, to wear for, for that certain part. We see him wearing his New World outfit that he should not be wearing at all because, like I said, and everything, we've all noticed that Sanji and the other crew members have went through costume changes over, the course time of the New World. They went through, well, actually the entire series. They went through, a lot of costume changes. They didn't always stay in the same outfits forever. Um, so I just really hope that, they like I know it's still in development, but that can basically be fixed because even later on, Yeah, even later on, we do get to see the Wano trailer. Like whenever Wano's represented, Luffy is still wearing the New World outfit, and I get it. He does wear that for a while whenever like he gets inside of Wano for the first time. But then whenever he's like going out, basically whenever he's going out to like go and check the towns and stuff, he goes and wears a kimono and holds the Kotetsu sword. He doesn't use it, but it's sort of like, it's like a funny maneuver with him, you know? Um, he would basically call him the costume name could be called Luffy Taro because that's what, that's the Wano representation of, the alias. But but I really hope that they really do that though, where they actually do match a lot of the costumes with the Straw Hats and other characters that do get costume changes. Because if not, gonna look at Bandai and Koei and be like, you can't just keep reusing the same models that you've been using for like the three generations of those games. You cannot be doing that. You gotta actually change this time. You gotta make it right. You know. Um, but yeah, though, but like I said, though, I just really hope that they do that because that'd be great. But as of characters themselves, besides the costumes, though, because that's also a flaw. It happened in the third game, like and the others as well. But beside that, um, the characters' move sets. I mean, with New World Luffy's, moveset that he has now, it's actually not so bad actually. It's not so bad because we actually got a couple new moves, thrown in there. We have Gum Gum Fireworks, which apparently is a really old move that he's used in the pre-time skip, and it was in Skypiea, if I remember correctly. He used Gum Gum Fireworks. Um but, with this one though, he's using more of his second gear ability with, punching and kicking all over the place, doing, that. So I'm guessing with that, it probably has a different name with it now. Like maybe, I don't know, like maybe like Lion Fireworks or, something like that. Like, I don't know. But, it's just with that and everything, I just really hope, I really hope that like moves like that will also get represented that way, where in his New World outfit, he doesn't have all of his pre-time skip moves anymore. Like he kind of does, but he switches up the moves, like he ups them, to where he's using more of his second gear and his third gear moves, and they have more like lion or not lion, but animal related names, because he was on Ruskina for 2 years. Um, but So the one thing I did notice though, and I think someone did point this out whenever I believe it was in one of the I think it was like in one of the gameplay trailers of Luffy's like New World outfit, but whenever he changes into Gear Fourth, it gives him a lot of different moves that he can use. Um which I don't really see the difference. It actually sort of does the same thing as what we saw with Gear Force, with this Whole Cake Island costume the first time. Like, I don't see the difference. But who knows? Maybe there's an actual surprising difference. Who knows? Um, yeah. But with that there and everything, it like the info that I found and everything about it was that you can actually change the moves. Like you can actually change the move set, of your characters to where at a certain point you can actually go and unlock more moves for those characters, and you can switch them out. I don't know if it's only the special attacks and the ultimate, or if it's flat out like the combos in general. Like you can do different moves instead. Like I don't know if that's how it works or not, but if it does work that way, like I'm content with that. I'm content with that idea. Like that actually, would be a lot more awesome because, I don't have to keep using the same repetitive moves that I know of and everything. I can use different ones, Like it's literally like looking at a whole arsenal of like combo moves and ultimate moves and all of that, like looking at all those, just for like those characters and everything, like the playable characters. They got all these moves, and you're like, I want to choose that one because I think that one looks good, Um, so yeah, I think that's a really good idea that we're finally getting a change with how we can choose our move sets now. Like we can choose a lot of that. Um, we don't actually have to like be stuck with like the same move sets forever. Now with Zoro though, I did see gameplay of Zoro, and Zoro's is stuck the same way as his like with the third version and everything, like the second and the third, Pirate Warriors games. Like he's got the same move sets basically, and I don't like that. I think, throughout throughout the times and everything, and throughout what we've seen more of Zoro and everything, especially after Dressrosa, that Zoro's moveset should be like buffed up a lot to where to where Zoro can actually use black swords and everything. Like he can actually infuse hockey into his blades and actually like change them to black blades and do all that. Like I think that's what needs to be, represented for Zoro and everything as a move set. Like I think Zoro should be able to have like black swords, and you can use the black swords like even in combos too because it's Zoro. Um Now moving on to another character, which is Carrot. Carrot is a new character. Like we've never had her in the game before. Really wish that we could have had her as a character updated for Pirate Warriors 3, but Bandai and Koei did not want to go and update like Pirate Warriors 3 because all they did was update DLCs, and it's like, oh, you get little side missions and everything in the Dream Log or Nightmare Log, and you get to do all this kind of stuff. So have fun, but it didn't really feel like, you could actually like have a continuation of the story because they already had an alternative ending, of Dressrosa, like how you win, basically. I mean, I'm not saying I hate that. It's just I wish like stuff would have been like rewritten and would have been like, oh, we can keep going on and everything, and we can make Pirate Warriors 3 literally the end of the trilogy of One Piece Pirate Warriors. Like we can make the trilogy end, and this will be the final game, and we'll keep updating it the more that the story grows. But they're not doing it that way. They're not. Now Pirate Warriors 4, I don't know if they're gonna do that, but if they do, I basically would give them claps for that. I would be like, good, you don't have to go and make an alternative ending each time. Like, no, you would actually be like, oh, we know exactly what we're doing for, each and every arc. Like, here you go, you know? Um, but for Carrot though, we basically just kind of got, we like for Carrot, we basically just got like a new mechanic of an ability that she's got. Like with Electro, like with Electro though, it's excuse me, um but with Electro though, it has like a different like a different effect on the enemies that you hit, and basically it's got like this shocking like it's got this shocking effect on them. I mean, we've seen other kind of effects on the characters before. We've seen poison effects, and those were caused mainly by the only poison type of like user characters in the game, and I mean, like, as in main characters, though. As of, like, the riffraff enemies, I believe there was only just one, and, basically, it's these guys that's got, like, poison tanks in their, like, hanging on their backs, like a backpack, and they kind of just, like, shoot a poison little bomb, and then it explodes, and then, you get poisoned and stuff, like, if you get caught in it. Um, but as of like actual characters that can actually poison you, like Magellan and Caesar, like there you go, like with that and everything. There you go with that. Like as if I could think of, I don't think there's any other story related character besides those two that could poison you. Like I haven't seen any other character really. Um, but yeah. Basically, you got Magellan and Caesar that could do the poison effect on you, and that's about it. I think that still play a role in the Pirate Warriors 4 game because, if you got the electrifying effects, which, now you could say that, uh, like, not only Carrot can do that, but Eneru can do it too, because Eneru, when he was playable in both the second and the third Pirate Warriors game, the only thing they really gave Eneru was that they gave him kind of like an OP move set, really, except you had to go and charge up a lot of electrical, like, I think like kilowatts or something, or joules. Basically, it's like using like the electric system, like a science system for electricity, basically. And you had to charge that a lot on Enero in order to do like ultimate attacks and everything. Well, not really ultimate attacks, like ultimate specials. I mean, like ultimate combos, basically. Like you got to charge, you got to charge up your thing, basically. But yeah. But Enero though, like I technically would see him doing the same thing as what Kara can do in the Pirate Warriors 4, where each time he uses his electric abilities, it actually like electrifies the enemies as well, and would give them like the staticky effect on them, in which would be like the new thing. I could see Frankie doing that as well. I could see Frankie doing that in Nami, because Nami's got the climb attack, and Frankie's like his New World outfit. Frankie's got well, actually, I think it works in like both pre-time skip and the post-time skip. But either way, Frankie's got like a move that literally, whenever he goes and extends out his arm and everything, he can literally make it to where like it shocks somebody. Now, I don't think that was actually confirmed in the series. I think that was just like a made up move that was never shown like in the anime or the manga. But Frankie's a cyborg, so I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining with that technique. Like Frankie, you do you. But yeah, I can see like an electrifying effect and possibly even a burn effect too. Because Sabo and Ace have like fire abilities and Luffy has the Red Hawk. Although although whenever I do see Luffy using the Red Hawk in his combo moveset with the Whole Cake Island demo, I don't really see a burn effect like kind of like this red fire burning or something on the enemies. I don't really see anything like that. So it's more like maybe not really much of a burn effect, but who knows really? Who knows? Like maybe you gotta use enough oomph to do it, you know? Like Luffy's Red Hawk alone won't do it. But say like if it was Ace or Sabo, like fire users, they go and do it because they got more oomph with, their powers, it actually does something. Like it actually burns, the enemies. So who knows really? Um But but besides that though, like I think that's like a really cool thing. But besides that though, I think with Carrot's moveset, the only flaw I really have with that though is that Carrot's like awakening state. That's what I'm gonna call it, her awakening state, even though they call it a full force it's like a full force burst, I think. Or like a full burst or a force burst, something like that. Um where basically the characters kind of do change form basically, where with Luffy he changes into gear force and he does a lot of like his gear force techniques because the moves change. But with Carrot though, Carrot, she it gives her like electro on her legs and like her claws on her hands, and basically she can zoom all over the place. Like I guess that's cool. But what I really think they probably should have done is that they probably should have given her like Sulong as an awakening, and basically make it to where she can zoom all over the place and not have it just be on like her legs and her claws, because because with Carrot Sulong, Electro is flowing all throughout her body and everything, like her hair, her ears, like all over. All right, even her legs, but but Carrot though would zoom all over the place and literally just like defeat all the enemies and everything, and like she would have a time limit to be in Sulong as well. She would be in a time limit as well. Now, as of like an after effect, would she feel like weak or something? Like, would she feel weak, or would that lead to like the more you use it, the more out of control you get, and you won't be able to control the character? Um, I really just think like, well, I mean, I would think, like, I wouldn't really think like there's like an after effect because it seems like whenever Luffy goes into Gear Fours and then he deflates, it doesn't really mean that he now has went weak and everything. However, I think they should probably implement that a little bit into the game because of the fact that, um, like this is Luffy's Gear Fourth technique. He's not able to use Haki for 10 minutes, so that means he cannot use any Haki based moves. He can't use Red Hawk. He can't use the Elephant Gun, the Elephant Gatling, the Grizzly Magnum. Like any moves that he uses for Haki for, he cannot use it. He cannot use Haki for 10 minutes you know um so like basically they would probably have like a thing where he's able to like recharge up hockey again, like maybe a little stamina bar or something. Like I don't know if they're really going to go that depth with it. They probably should, but at the same time they probably shouldn't. With Carrot though, the only thing with Carrot is that the more that she uses Electro, the more like the more basically she probably would lose control if she used it more. um That's why, that's why it was also hurting her at the same time because it's like fighting control of like, your Sulong. And, like I think that's probably what should be the thing is that, she'll go and cover up her head and everything and therefore she'll return back to normal. And then, you could do your regular fighting moves again. You know? Like, I think that should probably be the thing for Carrot's ability that you would be able to awaken into the Sulong, do all your combos and everything, like the number of moves that you can do, and then after that, you return to normal as normal Carrot. I wish they would have given her that as an awakening instead of just giving her like this blue aura kind of thing with Electro going through her hands and her feet. Like, come on. Um, Also, with probably about like one or two more characters to really discuss about before I end this video. It's Sabo and Ichiji. Now Ichiji is new, so I'll probably cut to him last. But Sabo isn't new anymore. Sabo has been now a playable character since the third game, or I should say the last game. But yeah, but Sabo's been playable, and we got to see his movesets and everything. I'm not hating Sabo's movesets in the third game because that's what was chosen. I'm hating the fact that whenever it came to Pirate Warriors 4, they're reusing the same moves they gave him in the third game. Like, Sabo has, like now that Sabo's got the flame fruit powers, he's now got a whole arsenal of different moves now. He doesn't need to follow he doesn't need to, like, follow up of what he did in the third game, you know? At least like that's the way how I'm looking at it right now is that they basically gave it as like these are the basic Saba moves, but you got to unlock more later on and like throughout the story or throughout some other method of the game. And who knows, maybe they might give Sabo like different arsenal moves. Maybe I hope they do because Sabo really deserves it. Sabo really does. Um, Now, like I said, earlier, moving on to Ichiji as the last one. Ichiji, he's also a relatively new character. Never had him playable in the games before. He's, like, never been mentioned in any of the three games at all. I'm pretty sure, like, if the game, like, the third game ever kept updating, that we could have probably got the brothers and everything playable. But like I said, that never happened. Um, but but with basically Ichiji, from what it looks like, Ichiji follows sort of the same line of what he does in World Seeker. And basically, what I mean by that is that if you've ever played One Piece World Seeker, and you've ever got to the part in the story where you basically do meet the Vinsmokes and everything, like you basically get to meet all three of them. Um, like Ichiji, Neji, and Yonji, you get to meet like all three of them. Um, basically what happens is that they go and like switch out with each other each time whenever you go into the fight, you know. Um Ichiji, like sometimes it would either be like Ichiji first, sometimes it'd be Neji first, and sometimes it would be Yonji first, Like either way of that and everything. And they do switch during the fight, but there's also times of whenever they either get ready to do like some sort of like either like a special attack, like either one of their own, like Ichiji would be like sparking figure, um, Yonji's would be like winch guillotine, and um, and basically Neji would be like blitz razor, I think, or it was razor blitz. I keep I keep forgetting with Niji's and everything, but I remember Ichiji's and Yonji's. Um, but apparently, whenever they sometimes do go into like their little techniques like that, there would either be like one of the other ones that would get summoned up and attack you, or flat out it would be both of them. Like where they all three attack at you at once. So with Pirate Warriors 4, Ichiji with this move set, I don't know if it's either like one of his specials or it's a combo attack, but that's sort of the same thing that happens where you go and do a move and basically you have the brothers get sent out and they kind of help you defeat the enemies and everything. I get it, like basically you're all doing a tag team together, but at the same time, it's almost like bringing the support ability back with yeah, it's almost bringing the support system back from the third game, and I don't think anybody really wanted that. I don't think anybody wants that. I know I definitely didn't, because I just think that maybe like it was an okay system, but I didn't really think like it was the best. Like that could probably be really removed. I don't want to see a support system ever again. I really don't. But with Ichiji, with this moveset, it almost makes it look like they are bringing the support system back and basically making it to where where you can summon out both Yonji and Niji to help fight for you, basically. And I just think that's kind of dumb because, like Ichiji, like all the Germas are all strong. They don't really need, to support each other in a fight. Like they can all fight for themselves because they're strong. The German double six, for crying out loud. Come on, you know. But but like I'm really saying though is that don't copy the same tactic of what you did at World Seeker, because if you do, people are gonna catch on. They're gonna rant and they're gonna be like, don't do the Vince smokes like that, to where they would copy what they did in World Seeker. Make it where it's different from that. You don't gotta copy. You don't gotta copy. You can make it different, you know? But yeah, but that's really all what I have to really say for now in this video. Um, I'm sorry I couldn't really upload the last one that discussed more about, the character's movesets, and maybe in the next one that I would go and discuss about, that I would really go and discuss about, like a character wish list, like that would still be continued because like even though Pirate Warriors 4 is revealing new characters for us to have playable, it's like, come on, keep the train, moving further with that, because people would keep creating their wish list and be like, oh, well, we got this character in there. Now I could make a wish list that would be like, oh, now I got these characters in here now. Like, okay, that's cool. But yeah. But hopefully, tomorrow that I will be making another video that, would be like a character wish list of what characters that I would want in One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. And, um, and that will basically, be it for now. So, so basically, this will be the end of the video. Give a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and leave a comment down below at your thoughts about this because, I basically already just went on a huge rant about, what I feel about the story and the characters, but that's it. This will be the One Piece King, signing out.